Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I see family from Israel is on and people from my community here in Berkeley and friends of my dad from Porterville and the surrounding area and family from all over the country, East Coast, Las Vegas, Southern California. Thank you all for being here. It's the wonders of miracles of Zoom that we can all be together. So um, that's all I have to say. Julie, Jhos.
Thanks, Dorit.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Julie Batz. This is Jhos Singer. Together, we are the congregational leaders of Chochmat HaLev, a Jewish community here in Berkeley, California. And we are honored that we can be here with Dorit and her whole family and all of you to take a moment, to take an hour or two to stop and pause and to remember and honor the life of Yosi. This is a moment that Jewish tradition instructs us to both remember, share stories, evoke our feelings and memories. That's a big piece of what we'll be doing in this next time together. But also, our tradition instructs us at this time to also turn our attention, our love, our care, and our support to the folks who are mourning right now, to Irena and Arnon and Oren and Dorit and their extended family. So we're going to be doing both of those things. And this next hour or so, we'll be hearing from different speakers. We'll be pausing for some music and quiet time. We'll be hearing stories, and we'll also have opportunities to offer our blessings of support to the family. A few logistics before we jump in, given that we're in this strange Zoom reality. This may not be the first time you've been on a Zoom gathering, but if it is, there's a few different ways that you can access what's happening. If you want to just see whoever is speaking, you can go up to the right corner of your screen where it says View and choose Speaker View. If you want to see everybody's faces all the time, you can choose Gallery. And you'll also see that you're muted, that you're not able to speak out and be heard in this gathering. Only the folks who are designated speakers will each be unmuted as they speak, but at the end, everyone will be unmuted, and there'll be opportunities for just open sharing. So those are the kind of two guidelines. There is a chat if you like to communicate in that way. Go to the bottom of your screen and there's like a little cartoon talking bubble above the word chat. And if you click there, a chat window will open along the right side of your screen and you can add your messages and blessings there. Okay. We're going to start with a gentle melody, 4 words of care and compassion: ahava v'rachamim, chesed v'shalom. Just the emanations and qualities that we hope are present in this gathering today: love and compassion, kindness, and peace or wholeness. And you can feel free to sing along. Ahava v'rachamim, chesed v'shalom. Ahava v'rachamim, chesed v'shalom.
Thank you, Julie. So with that, framing that container of love and compassion and kindness and peace and wholeness, we enter into hearing from people about where they're holding right now, what they're feeling right now. And wholeness is kind of the operative word here, is to be able to show up with whatever you're feeling with kindness and compassion and love. When we're able to do that, we're able to really honor each other in all of our humanness. And so with that, I want to invite Arnon Geshuri, one of Yosi and Irina's children, to offer his words.
Thank you very much. And hello, everyone. My name is Arnon Geshuri, and I'm his son. And on behalf of my family, I would like to thank you for being here and sharing this time of mourning, remembrance, and celebration of my father's life. As I reflect on my father's life, it is difficult to capture all of the amazing things he did and the far-reaching influence he had on so many people. But taking a moment, the following thoughts came to mind. Dad was someone who saw many births. The birth of his relationship to my mom that led to the births of his 3 children, the birth of his grandchildren, his nieces, his great nieces and nephews, his cousins, his great cousins, and numerous friends and their families. He also witnessed the birth of Israel, a nation that he fiercely defended and supported and loved. Dad was a pioneer in his field. As a lifelong learner and voracious reader, he saw how his profession could be advanced with the interlocking multiple disciplines and fusing together different areas of study to create breakthroughs and elevate the field. In pursuit, he became a certified expert in psychopharmacology and how medicines can apply to the various mental illnesses in innovative ways to form new treatments. He loved the field of forensic psychology, a subfield of psychology that involved the application of psychological knowledge and methods to both civil and criminal legal questions. He regularly partnered with investigators and attorneys to consult on the criminal mind and served as an expert witness at many a trial. He would translate the theories into practice and work with the legal system and clinical community to find a better path for folks with criminal tendencies. Dad was a true Renaissance man. Early in life, he lived on a kibbutz in Israel, working in the fields, doing construction, figuring out electrical systems, fixing tractors, and repairing farm equipment. When he came to America, being an immigrant made it tough to find initial work. He hustled for under-the-table jobs, including night work for a small electronics repair shop in LA, fixing TVs and radios, and working in a factory, all to make money to support his wife and his family and pay tuition to go to school. The result of all this hands-on training was to become the only psychologist I knew who could fix cars, repair the TV, build a home, and convert the inside of an old van into a mobile house on wheels, including a restroom with running water, shower, folding kitchen table into a bed, and great wood paneling. Everything needed to take summer trips, from Missouri to Mount Rushmore, to Yellowstone National Park, to Flagstaff, Arizona, and Pasadena, California. Dad was a collector of tools and gadgets. Simple joys in his life was always having tools handy to tackle any issue. He was known for a shirt pocket full of pens, but not just ordinary pens. There was some with a flashlight, another that turned into a screwdriver, a third that had a compass, another that had a tire gauge, another that was a digital recorder, and others that, if asked, could probably transform into a spatula, a telescope, or a samurai sword. Dad was a believer in physical fitness. Ever since I can remember, Dad lifted weights, ran, walked, or exercised in some way. He was proud of his health and boasted regularly that he could bench press, that his bench press was hitting new record highs. I think he got to a few reps of 325 and loved to outlift the local college football athletes a third his age. He was a dad who believed in family. Although we all did not always make it easy on him as independent adolescents and idealistic young adults, he loved us unconditionally and just wanted to stay close and be family. He was excited when we were all together and engaged in family dinners and activities. He enjoyed driving to LA or to San Jose or to Berkeley or to Las Vegas to visit his family in their own habitat. He loved when relatives and friends from across the United States or from Israel or from other locations around the world would come through Porterville and experience some hometown cooking or as part of a road trip. Family was important to him, and he understood a stable home would create an anchor no matter what hand would be dealt in life. Saying goodbye to my dad is one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. During the last several weeks, our visits to the hospital were met with long conversations with Dad about his life and catching him up on what was happening with all of us and anything else he wanted to talk about. During my chats with him, he would stop talking for a moment, pause thoughtfully, and ask me to listen closely. He wanted to give me advice and ask me to remember his words and promise to fulfill them. So I'm summarizing, and let me share what he said. Take care of the family and make sure to never stop supporting one another. If someone has a hardship, make sure to help lift them up. Look out for each other and work hard to provide others in the family with opportunities to make their situation better. There's nothing more important than family. Second, our lives are important and our experiences should be shared. When we learn something new or have an experience that others can benefit from, please write them down. Write down our professional and personal journeys to ensure the memories and stories are not lost, and others can learn from our mistakes and our discoveries. And last, never stop learning and make time for everything. Make the most out of every day, fit everything in, and don't put off things you can do today. There's so much to know and to be curious about and to get done that we should take the time to generate new ideas that can make the world a better place. I will end where I started and thank all of you for being here today. I come to appreciate having a family and a community to share in these moments and provide mutual support. I'm confident that my father's legacy and memories live on both in the family and his expansive network of friends. And I want to say thank you, Pops, for everything, and you are greatly loved. And I also promise that every day would be filled with love, learning, and family. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Arnon. And now I'd like to invite your brother and Dorit's brother, Oren, to offer a few words as well.
Well, thank you very much. And Arnon, thanks for those great words. Arnon gave a great broad picture of who Dad was, but I want to zoom in and kind of focus on one aspect, which was my dad's sense of rightness, of responsibility, of that intermingling with his compassion. Everything I understood and understand about the world and my place in it, it began as a lesson from my father. My entire ethical framework was formed by this admixture of Jewish teachings, of psychological truisms, and of course, observations from his long life and his vast experience. Growing up, I never really had to question what was right or what was wrong because my dad continued to live an upstanding life every day. And he demonstrated how to be for for lack of a better word, good. Obviously, those who know him know that he was a man of dedication and a man of honor. He was a psychologist, as a profession, to be sure, and he was a very successful one at that. But he really believed that it was his responsibility to help people, to offer some relief to those who needed it. In his forensic work for the courts, my brother mentioned, his interest in that, but also in his psychopharmacological work at the hospitals and the nursing homes. My dad actually was, kind of cutting edge in the area of psychopharmacology. All he wanted to do was just to use all the skills that he had acquired over the years to help people where he could. My dad was one of those true individuals, those rare people who loved their work. He continued to work because he just couldn't imagine his life without work. Shortly after my dad told me last November that he had cancer, he said, after he explained the whole situation to me, I said, Pop, this is maybe the opportunity for you to maybe slow down a little bit, right? Take a little bit of a time for yourself, get better, heal. And he grumbled and moaned, and he said he'd probably get bored out of his mind. But then he kind of slowed down and said, looked me in the eye and said, son, I can't let my patients down. I've been working with some of these people for years and they need my help. It's my responsibility to help them. Not even cancer could shake my dad's sense of duty and of responsibility. And he worked until the day he just couldn't work anymore. It's largely due to my admiration for my father that I have continued to strive for excellence in the things that I do. Both my brother and sister in the paths that they've taken are among the best in what they do, professionally and otherwise. Without my dad, I just would not be the person that I have become. My dad was a real mensch. Until the end of my days, I will aspire to be a man like he was, a mensch like he was. And until the end of my days, I will miss him. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Oren. It's a lot. It's a big presence in all of your lives. And when there's that place that was once fully occupied by someone who was so dynamic and full and energetic and using all of the time that he had to do the things that he felt called to do, it's very difficult to figure out how to reckon with and grapple with that void. And part of what we do is tell stories. Stories are spackle, and they start helping to fill in some of those places. And everybody's story is different, that's part of the beauty of getting together in a group like this. I can't tell you how many times I've been at a Shiva minyan, and people who knew someone very close, where they felt like they were their very close person. Here's someone else who feels like they're their very close person, and they hear a completely different version of that same one. So there's a lot to learn here. There's a lot of connecting the dots. And I just want to thank you both for offering so much for all of us to take that in. To take a moment to just let it settle in, I want to invite Lior to offer another piece of music so that we can just kind of drop into what you both have just offered and then open it up to some more.
Thank you, Jhos. Hi, everybody. My name is Lior. I'm a good friend of Dorit and the musical director of Chochmat HaLev. And I didn't know Yosi personally. I never met him, but I very touched to be here with you and to sing with you. And I thought, what can I sing to honor you and the family? And through all your stories, I just found this song that I feel inspired to sing. It's by an Israeli poet that you might know. Her name is Rachel, and the words are very kind of simple but very deep and beautiful. Will you hear my voice, my beloved? Will you hear my voice wherever you are? The voice that calls you with fierceness and with tears, that goes beyond time and space and calling for a blessing. I will wait for you in the end of my life, like Rachel is waiting for the beloved. If you know it, please sing with me. If you want to just close your eyes and take it in, please do that. Whatever feels right for you, and I'm dedicating it to this beautiful family. התשמע קולי, רחוקי שלי. התשמע קולי, באשר הנך. קול קורא בעוז, קול קורא בדמי, ומעל הזמן מצווה ברכה. תבל זו רבה ודרכים ברא, נפגשות לדק, נפרדות לאט. מבקש אדם אך כושלות רגליו, לא יוכל למצוא את אשר עבד. You can sing with me this part. It goes like this. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. אחרון ימיי כבר קרוב אולי, כבר קרוב היום של דמעות פרידה. אחכה לך עד יכבו חיי, כחכות רחל, כחכות רחל לדודה. התשמע קולי, רחוקי שלי. Will you hear my voice? התשמע קולי, wherever you are, באשר הנך. קול קורא בעוז, קול קורא בדמי, ומעל הזמן מצווה ברכה.
Thank you so much, Lior. And that beautiful line of, thinking about the blessings that we seek beyond this life. And this is it. The blessings are whatever, we make of each other when we are gone. I think of it as holy editing. There's no way, like everybody's life is like a big old rough draft. And what we end up doing is finding this chapter that we were a part of and really honing it. And that's beautiful holy work. That's the blessing we can offer to each other. And it starts here. It starts with these stories when they're fresh and when the pain is raw. And the first layer starts to be examined and shared. And so we've heard from Yosi's sons, and now I want to turn it over to Doron to offer his reflections.
Well, thank you. And thank you for having us. I'm saying us because I'm sitting here with my wife. And before I start, just one word. My name is Doron. I'm Irena's cousin, and one of the other cousins, Dovi, and his wife. They couldn't be with us today, but they asked me to convey their condolences and that they are weeping the loss of Yosi, and I promised I would. As for me, to paraphrase Shakespeare, I have come to praise Yosi for praise he deserves. The first word that comes to my mind is scholar, in the true sense and meaning of the word. One who constantly schools himself. As I guess all of you know, not in one field, but in many fields. Always reading an article of some sort and immediately applying it to its context, to either his crafts or the immediate or future situation, indeed applied materials. Besides being a professional of the first degree, and both Arnon and Oren alluded to that, and perhaps more than that, Yosi was and will always remain a man of all men and all women, a true believer in humans. This, of course, was reflected in his lifelong work and in the many people who were fortunate enough to meet him and benefit from him, which both of us, Limor and myself, thankfully say we are among them. It was a true pleasure to hold conversations with Yosi, no matter what the subject was, politics, the human nature, the chemistry of the mind, history, including family history, of course, and so on and so forth. The smile-lit face is an identifying mark. Even in the hospital when I came. The other side of that smile, perhaps the origin of that smile, is the sense of humor, that sense of humor that led Yosi once to explain to a waiter in Calafata, Argentina, a place that the locals describe as the end of the world. What is the meaning of the word Jhos, which I'm sure you all know, and to spell down on a napkin the word Meshige for him when the waiter said loco. I've learned a lot from him, and a quote that we often use at home is, "It is not what we need, it is what we want." And at the risk of repeating myself, I will say that the legacy of great men long outlives them. Yosi is a great man, and with us, his legacy and memory shall forever remain. תהא נשמתו צרורה בצרור החיים. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doron. Thank you so much. We'd like to invite Shirley Hickman to offer her reflections now. Shirley, can you take yourself off mute? So if you, there you go.
Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Perfect, there you go.
Okay, great. First of all, I would like to say that the Hickmans and the Geshuris have been friends for decades. We have been interwoven into one another's lives. Arnon and Dorit were my students at Menachie. Oren was my reader at Porterville College. Arnon and my son Joseph have been friends since high school. They worked together at 3 companies, Google, Tesla, and now their current company. Arnon was in Joseph's wedding, and we think of them really as not only friends, but family. I can't speak of Yosi without talking about Arena, because in our lives, they were always there together. We celebrated our birthdays, the 4 of us, my husband, Yosi, Arena, and I, and had wonderful, wonderful times with those birthdays. When my husband was very ill in the hospital, Yosi went to see him. And afterward, after their visit, I had talked to Joe and I said, "How are you doing?" And he said, "Oh, I feel so much better," after Yosi came to talk to me. And then after my husband died, Arena and Yosi came to my house and comforted me in so many, many ways. And knowing that in your life you have those people who are going to be there no matter what happens. And that's both of them. And I really, really cherish our friendship. Sometimes when you look at the people around you and the people who have made an impact on your life, I think Joe Geshuri is certainly at the top of a lot of people's lists. And so is Arena, because they are people who are going to be there for you when you need them. When I went to Orange, When I went to Oren's wedding, Arnon's youngest daughter was just a baby, and I held her in my arms, and she was very, very content. And I told Arnon, I said, "Gee, I don't know, I've never met this baby before, but she's so happy in my arms." And Arnon says, "Well, of course, because you're family." There are families that are biological families, and there are families of the heart. And the Geshuris and the Hickmans have a strong, strong bond, one that I know will continue to exist. And I want to tell all of you, if you need to talk, if you need to just cry, if you need someone that you just want to express your feelings or your anger or your sadness, always know that the Hickmans will always be there for the Geshuris. God bless you. I love you all. And I guess that's all I have to say. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for being in my life.
Thank you so much, Shirley.
So the tradition offers us 2 incredible pieces of liturgy. At these moments when our hearts are broken and we don't know sometimes what to say, these words are put into our mouths. The first is the El Male Rachamim, a beautiful prayer that asks the Shekhinah, the indwelling feminine presence of the divine, to gather under her wings the soul of the person whom we've loved and lost. These words are meant to elevate us in body and spirit, so I invite anybody who would like to rise with me as we chant this. With this prayer, we release our hold on you. I'm going to see if somebody's not muted. Oh, maybe Steve took care of it. Great. Let's try again. With this prayer, we release our hold on you. We pray that your soul moves on in freedom. We call on the deepest well of compassion, the sweetest love, the boundless acceptance, to receive you into its fullness, to shelter you under its wings. We pray that you're finding your way home, free from pain, free from worry, where there is only love, where there is only peace. Il male rachamim, shochein bamromim, המציא מנוחה נכונה תחת כנפי השכינה, במעלות קדושים וטהורים, כזוהר הרקיע מזהירים. את נשמת יוסף בן דוד ונחמה, שהלך לעולמו בגן עדן תהי מנוחתו. אנא בעל רחמים, אז תראהו בסתר כנפיך לעולמים, וצרור בצרור החיים את נשמתו. אדוני הוא נחלתו, וינוח בשלום על משכבו, ונאמר Amen.
So our thoughts turn to this loss, to the inevitable departure that we all make. And the tradition comes in at this point and says, you got to praise what you got. You got to praise the beautiful life around you, the blessings that you have. You know, you're here. And we live in a tough world. And it's a mean proposition that we only get enough time in the body on this planet to just barely start to grasp what this whole situation is all about, if we're lucky. So while we're here, when we encounter that great mystery of death, rather than run screaming away from it, rather than throwing ourselves on the floor in pain and grief, although we get to do a little of that too, the Jewish tradition understands we need that. But the big push is to get to praise. The big push is to overcome our own grief or our frustration or what was undone or whatever it is, and look around you and see you're still here. There's something for each and every one of you out there right now in your frame of vision that you would call a blessing. So we focus on that. And on Yosi's behalf, we praise. Some say that actually it's Yosi looking back and going, "No, why aren't you praising? Praise already." And that his praises would come through us. So one approach to this is when you encounter that thing that he loved so much, when you read that article that you wish you could share with him, that's when you praise. That's when you feel his presence. Because you're seeing the world through the lens that he taught you to see the world through. So with that spirit, we offer the Mourner's Kaddish. So it'll come up on your screen. And I want to ask, and it's really whatever you need is fine. If either of the, Irina or Dorit or Arnon or Oren would like to lead it. Would any of you like to lead it? If so, I will ask you to come off mute and lead us in it. looks like a no. So I'm going to go ahead and lead it for us on behalf of the family. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Ba'alma divrach yiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh b'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala v'zman kariv v'imru.
Amen.
Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach leolam ul almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudesha brichu la'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechemata da'amiran b'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oh, say shalom b'mromav, huya aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru. Amen. May the one who creates peace all around us, above us, within us, be patient with us as we seek peace in our hearts, in our families, in our communities, in our nations, and in the whole world. And let us all say to that great work, Amen. Thank you all so much for being present for this moment.
I wanted to share a beautiful, inspired Mourner's Kaddish by Deborah Cash. It's called Mourner's Kaddish for Every Day. Build me up of memory, loving and angry, tender and honest. Let my loss build me a heart of wisdom, compassion for the world's many losses. Each hour is mortal, and each hour is eternal, and each hour is our testament. May I create worthy memories all the days of my life. So we're about to wrap up the kind of formal part of the ritual and transition into an informal and open period of sharing together. But before we end this formal section, I wanted to create a little bit of space for us to share our blessings for Irena and Dorit and Oren and Arnon and the family. The kind of support or wisdom or blessing that you might offer if we were all in person and you came up and were able to give them a hug and have just a quiet moment together. And I'd like to invite you to put those blessings into the chat, which we will then save and share with the family. And we're just going to take a few moments for that. It might be one word, it might be a phrase. What are you blessing them with, and what support would you like to offer at this moment?
So beautiful. Thank you for, okay, keep them coming. You can keep flowing those blessings. Julie's going to offer another song, and then there'll be a slideshow. And everyone is welcome after the slideshow to stay on and just have a period of kibitzing and hanging out and sharing stories and just being together in community.
This is the healing blessing that we sing in our community. We're sending you light to heal you and hold you. Sending you light to hold you in love. We're sending you light to heal you and hold you. Sending you light to hold you in love. Elna refanala. Elna refanala. Please, God, heal this one. Elna refanala. Elna refanala. Elna refanala. We ask for a refuah shlema, full and complete healing of our hearts. Refuah shlema. Refuah shlema. We're sending you light. Sending you Did you have a few closing words before the slideshow?
No, I'm excited for people to see what I put together. So
Thank you so much for doing that.
Roki roki roki.
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 Yankam hendo roki.
Roki roki roki.
Hey waiter roki.
Roki roki roki.
Nani waiter roki.
Roki roki.
Kore waiter roki.
Roki roki roki.
Roki roki roki.
Roki roki roki.
Thank you, everybody. We're going to be taking you off of the mute now, so or give you the opportunity to take yourselves off of mute for anybody who'd like to stay and share more stories and memories with the family. Again, thank you so much for the honor of being able to be here with you, Dorit, and your family. And we're just holding you all in our hearts and just blessing you as you walk through these next days, weeks, and months, and you start to figure out what is life in this new configuration without your dad right here with you, and blessing you that that relationship remains accessible and strong, even when he's no longer here. And thank you, everybody, for joining with us to support this beautiful family today.
And
Thank you so much, Jhos and Julie, for being here.
I just wanted to extend my my energy right now to Irena, because this is a huge, huge shift for you. And as you look around this screen, I think you know that you've got people to lean on. You've got love surrounding you, and may it give you strength, and may you feel that love helping you move your way along.
Okay. Now's a great time if people want to share stories or memories of my father. I don't know if there's a lot of people here who have known my parents for a long time, so I'm guessing someone has a story or two. Kurt, do you have your hand up?
Yeah, hi. I'm not
Hi.
sure if you can see me, if everything's on.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, my name's Kurt Lindgren. The Lindgren family has been friends with the Geshuri family for a long time, and we're from the Porterville area. And I'm the youngest of in my family. I know Orrin and Arnon went to school with my older brother Todd and my sister Kristen, and I came along a little bit later. And Dorit, I don't quite remember you, but I just want to say just a few things. Just my experience with Dr. Geshuri, and just how much he helped an underserved community. And that is those in the greater Porterville area, in the access to mental health support that Dr. Geshuri and Arena together provided for so many people. I'm fortunate to be one of them, and I know that the positive effect that Dr. Geshuri's had in tirelessly working to always be there for people who need help is, it's so needed in our world. It's so needed everywhere, and I know that the support and healing and therapy that he provided is you'd be talking about thousands and thousands of people, either directly or indirectly. And so I just want to say thank you to Dr. Geshuri, thank you to Arena, and my condolences to the entire Geshuri family and everybody that knows him and loves him. And so I just want to say thank you, and what an amazing man he is.
So if family comes, let me know.
Thank you, Kurt. Limor, did you have something you wanted to say now, or no, I don't want to put you on the spot, but
Later.
no, later. Okay, great.
It's like Hagit wants to say something.
Oh, Hagit, please.
As your oldest cousin, the little girl in the picture, it's me. As a little girl. The only one that knew Yosi before Irena, right? That's the truth.
Yes.
I'm the oldest cousin in Geshuri family. So now I'm not Geshuri, but I'm still Geshuri family. I was touched very much about Rachel's song that the man was singing. Sorry about my poor English. Because Rachel, the singer, was a neighbor of us in Givatayim near our house. So it was part of our life without knowing her. He was singing her song. So it's helped me to connect the soul of Yosi to be with us because he knew it. And have my
condolences. Condolences
from all our heart. With all the family, we are with you, and we are together with all the Geshuri family.
I would like to share with you a small secret. Yosi's favorite gastronomic food was the hottest jalapeno sauce. Each visit in Israel, I couldn't achieve his willing to have a more hottest sauce. So maybe now you will achieve the better and the hottest sauce of jalapeno. But you know, my first meeting with Yosi was after my marriage with Hagit, his oldest cousin from Israel. And all over the years, we kept like a secret part of conversation of many issues regarding life issues, regarding personal issues, and global and issues that are reaching each person in his life. Twice in my life, I was a witness of Yosi's treatment on people that need help from him. Both of them were amazing, just to be a side witness, to see in few minutes what a change happened in people's life when Yosi touched them. It was amazing, and we believe that there are more thousands and thousands more people that became much better when Yosi touched their body and soul. Touch Yosi, first love was repairing people's mind, and the other was repairing physical issues like home design, buildings, and whatever.
Part of the Geshuri.
This is the part of Geshuri's talents, yes, indeed. It was very touching. Each meeting with Irena and Yosi, it was so powerful, so meaningful. Still now, we cannot achieve the idea that Yosi is no longer with us. Yosi, we are missing you so much.
For me, he will be always my uncle with the trumpet.
The trumpet. Because he was
that's my memory.
Playing the trumpet? Okay. Not in this part that I was knowing Yosi.
The young girl.
But in many ways in our lives, for the last almost 50 years, Yosi was a part and the advisor and the person that we can talk and straighten many issues in our lives, in our neighbors and our family lives. Yosi will miss you so much. Dear family, keep in touch. We love you all. Condolences to all of us.
Thank you so much, Dodi and Chagit.
Thank you.
I'm so happy that you're here. It means a lot to me. So thank you for being on this Zoom.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who, Rebecca?
Hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm Arnon's wife. And I met Arnon when I was 19. So I've been in this family for a very long time, just shy of 30 years. And Irit and Yosi embraced me with open arms from the second I met them. And, you know, Yosi has always been a teacher to me, such a kind-hearted, warm and caring teacher. I always felt very cared for by him. And I always felt like he was really proud of me. And when I went back to school after we had our 3 kids, and I announced that I was going to go get my master's in counseling psychology, I could see like his restraint. I think he would have loved to jump up and down and be very animated about his excitement about that, because that's, what he did. And I always felt that excitement. And every time he would come to visit, or we would go to visit them, he would ask about my cases and how's school going and what are you reading? And he'd always have something to teach me about psychology. And so, I think about him every day when I'm working. And yeah, I just feel very honored and blessed to have found you to, be embraced in this family. And, Oren and Dorit, you guys are special to me. And Irit, there you are on my Zoom screen. I'm just, wishing that we were there with you right now. And just wishing we could be closer physically in proximity to each other and to be with all of you guys in person. I'm feeling that pretty heavily right now. And yeah, I just love you all. That's all.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. All right. Any more?
If I may add, Dorit?
Yeah, sure.
Your slideshow referred, one of the topics was the trips, seeing the world. Well, we were fortunate enough to share a few of them, to some of them even to exotic places like the Ecuador and the Galapagos and Argentina, South America. And if I connect that to what Hagit's husband spoke about, the so-called secret that he unveiled, then I will add to that 2 things. One is that usually when we were in restaurants and the waiter would come with the apparatus for the black pepper, then Yosi would say, no, just leave it here because you won't understand. So just leave it here. And no matter what he ate, no matter what color the dish was presented in, it eventually turned black because it was covered with black pepper. And secondly, that there was another culinary love, and that was the peanut ice cream, more specifically the one that Lior made. And he was standing, I remember vividly how he was standing in the kitchen of our house and enjoying it, let me put it mildly, and saying to the highest degree. And so there's, I think, another aspect of a very complex and diversified personality of a man who not only dealt in many fields, professional fields, not only combined them with almost professional habits of the building and remodeling and the decorating and everything and every tool on earth, but also the love, or not the love, the enjoyment of the, let's say, the good things in life. And as he told me when I last spoke with him, when he was already in the hospital, all of this could not have been done, could not have been achieved without Irit's help, or to quote him, she helped a lot. I translate the Hebrew to English because we spoke in Hebrew. And I think this also should be said and noted. Thank you.
Thank you, Doron. I'm just so I feel so supported that I see so much of my wonderful extended family here. Shai and Nama, Tada for being here. Sarah and Itzik, thank you so much for being here. Marcel, Raymond, Aunt Leah, so great that all of you could come together for this. I really appreciate it.
Yes.
Is there anyone else who wants to tell a story? Marcel, you want to tell a story about being 14 and coming to my parents' wedding, or there's so many words out there, but no pressure. Raymond, do you want to say something? You have your hand up. You have to unmute. I'm not sure if that's possible. Is he just waving? Okay.
Hey, Cuz.
Yeah. Yep.
I want to say two things. I'll start with the funny one. So I grew up on the East Coast, so I didn't get to grow up with my West Coast cousins. But I did get to grow up with your parents, with Yosi and Erie, because while your dad was doing one of his 9 million certifications, one of them was taking extended education to become one of his many degrees on the East Coast. So I had lots of weekends with your parents where they would come and meet my mom and dad, myself, and then your parents. And we had many of our, what I call wonder and putter trips, because we would meet and within the first 5 minutes, my dad would go missing and your dad would go missing. And my mom would get a little worried and I would say, don't worry, we'll find Yosi taking a photo of something. It might not be that interesting because he always had his camera. So he was.
Oops, she's frozen. Raymond, do you want to fill in till Alicia comes back? Here, unmute yourself.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to express my sympathy and condolences to all of you, and to you, Dorit, to Irit, and to Nan and Oren. And Dorit, you've done an amazing job. Everything was just amazing, really. But your father was also an amazing person. And I was shocked. I never imagined, as I said in my email, that he even could get ill. He was, I mean, to lift 300 pounds at 80 years old. I mean, it's just amazing. I never thought he could get sick. I never thought of as being mortal, frankly. And your mother and I, share a bond in terms of the way we were brought up, but he and Irit were a team. They were inseparable. And I remember the last time we were together in Philadelphia, Irit, in her usual fashion, ran me ragged, and Yosi was a very willing companion and just went through everything, including the ride in the tugboats, which are frankly very dangerous. But we survived that, and I have no words to express my grief. So. But Dorit, you have done an amazing job there.
Thank you, Raymond. Thank you. Sarah? Oh, there you go.
I would like to say that in almost every family, there is the good fortune to have committed people who care
about the carrying on of tradition in the family and who are creative in their ways of preserving and making that tradition relevant for the time that they're in and the people that they are. And one such person was your father, Arnon. And I knew it the moment I met him. I knew that he was made possible by the support of your wonderful Irena mother, and that the leadership of the family was a gift to the new family that joined with your family, and a gift that continues to be appreciated because your father and mother have left an indelible print on the rest of us that we will continue to treasure and live with as long as we live, and will remain relevant to the families that they had the honor and the good fortune of enriching.
Thank you so much, Sarah Shanenbank. All right.
Dorit?
Leah. Yeah, Leah, go for it.
I would love to say something. Hello to everyone. This is a very difficult time for me, so I'm going to try really, really hard. Yosi and Iri are my inspiration. Sorry. So let me preface that Yosi taught me the way of the world. He showed me how to work in a workplace. I didn't even have to pay the fees for a psychologist because he would come here and he taught me. He was my encyclopedia. He taught me how to make trina. That's another thing. That one of the most things he taught me is kindness and forgiveness and a sense of family. We are a family. Manny and him became very, very good friends. It's been a lovely journey. All the things that he did for everyone, he did most for the family. Fly well, fly in the sky, be happy. Just, I'm gonna miss him so much. And to my best friend, my sister, I will be with you forever. Nobody is going to take you away from me. So with goodness and love, thank you, Yosi. Thank you for the goodness, for the love that you have shown all of us, for helping my daughters, for helping me, for just being who you are. Fly, I love you.
Thank you, Leah.
Man, I'm that girl.
All right. All right. Does anyone else have some words? Otherwise, we can wrap this up. I I'm planning on uploading the video that I made to YouTube so that I can, and I'll share it with everyone. And is there anything else that anyone wants to say? No. All right.
Dorit,
Yeah.
This is Susan talking. I didn't know your father, and I was very glad to be here. And I'm sorry I didn't know him. He sounded so wonderful. I love you.
Thank you so much, Susan. All right. Okay. Well, I'm so touched that so many of you and my friends, all of my friends for being here, and my wonderful community from Chochmat HaLev, Annette and Ida, Judy, Sherry, my partner in crime in so many ways here at Chochmat. Karen, it's so great. I really appreciate all of you being here to support me and my family. So thank you very much for sharing this special moment with me and my family. And that's all. I think we're gonna end it here, and hopefully, dear family, there will be other happier reasons to be in touch. And as soon as COVID's over, we're coming to Israel to visit y'all. So, okay, bye.